Brothers and sisters on the journey of life, get ready to unravel a secret that has been kept under lock and key throughout the ages. I am about to reveal a truth that many would prefer to keep hidden, a celestial key so powerful that when used, a single whisper of it can unleash a wave of prosperity and abundance unlike anything ever seen before in your life. And I ask you, are you ready for the gates of heaven to open and pour upon you its richest blessings? For I tell you, with just one prayer, one time, the miracle can manifest in your reality today. Join me on this sacred journey and discover how a psalm, when spoken with true faith and a pure heart, can become the golden key to the divine treasure of prosperity and abundance. Stay tuned, for what will be shared could transform your life forever. Beloved brothers and sisters in faith and in pursuit of a fulfilling life, if what has been revealed here resonates in your heart, if the flame of hope and prosperity has been ignited within your soul, then I invite you to take a step of faith. Become co-creators of this movement of blessings and join our Abundance and Faith community on YouTube. Touch the signal of divine promise, the like, as a symbol that you are ready to receive the wonders that the Father has prepared for each of you. Subscribe now to this sacred channel and activate notifications so that the word of prosperity and abundance does not get lost in the wind but finds a dwelling place in your hearts. And on the sacred altar of comments, leave your digital prayers, sharing with all of us, what do you wish to attract into your life? By declaring this, you are summoning the power of heaven to manifest your dreams here on earth. So, I urge you, do not postpone the miracle that you can summon today. Like, subscribe, and comment, for faith in action makes all the difference in the unseen kingdom that manifests abundantly in our lives. May the Lord bless you, and may prosperity be the faithful companion of each of you. At the beginning of our spiritual journey, many of us are like travelers in a desolate land, seeking living water in dry wells, wealth in depleted mines. But I tell you, there is a path that has been trodden by the wise and the saintly, which leads to a state of endless abundance and prosperity. This path is none other than the path of spiritual unlocking, the path of divine blessings that are waiting to be poured upon us. To tread this path, it is necessary first to recognize that there are invisible locks that prevent us from accessing these blessings. These blockades are often our own doubts, fears, and insecurities, barriers that we have built with our own hands, with bricks of disbelief and mortar of hopelessness. And as long as these barriers stand, the abundance that is our birthright will remain unattainable. However, brothers and sisters, do not despair, for there are keys for these locks, and these keys are forged in faith and truth. The truth is that we are all children of the Creator, heirs of the kingdom, and co-creators of our reality. When we begin to understand and live this truth, the old barriers begin to crumble, and the chains that bound us begin to unravel. It is a process, my beloved, a process that begins with the acceptance of our true identity. We must turn inward, to the silence of our being, where the gentle voice of the divine whispers words of wisdom and power. It is in this sacred place that we begin to hear and understand the call to prosperity that has been placed in our hearts since the beginning of time. As we open ourselves to divine grace and guidance, we begin to see miracles unfold before our eyes. It is not only material prosperity that begins to flow into our lives, but also a wealth of peace, joy, and love that cannot be bought with gold or silver. We recognize God as the source of all our prosperity, we begin to understand that we are always under the protection and love of the Most High. With this understanding, we are called to surrender completely, to set aside the blockades we have created, and to allow ourselves to be flooded by divine light. This surrender is not a defeat, but a victory, the victory of the Spirit over the illusions of the world. And it is with this surrender that we affirm our freedom and our ability to receive the abundance that is rightfully ours by divine right. But it is not enough just to receive, we must also acknowledge and give thanks. Every blessing received is a reminder of the unconditional love of the Father, and every expressed gratitude is an echo of that love reverberating through the universe. With gratitude, our faith strengthens, our prayers deepen, and our connection with the divine becomes unshakable. And so, step by step, with faith and gratitude, we tread the path toward true prosperity. It is not a path without challenges, but it is a path illuminated by the promise that for those who believe, all things are possible. It is the path that leads us back to our original state, the state of abundance and divine blessings that have always been ours to claim. We have a gift for you in the description below. Click to uncover what we have in store for our dear followers. It's quick, it's easy, and it's a way to say thank you. Don't miss out. Amidst the incessant noise of the modern world, where the cacophony of worries and obligations drowns us in a sea of distraction, there exists a sanctuary of peace that many have forgotten. This sanctuary is not found in temples made by human hands or in distant lands promised by prophets, it is found in the silence of our being. When we step away from the external tumult and enter the quietness of our soul, we begin to touch the hem of the robe of the supreme energy, the source of all creation, the center of all life. In this sacred space of silence, the connection with the divine is more than a possibility, it is a palpable reality. We become aware of a presence that permeates all things and is intimately interwoven in the essence of our being. Silence becomes not just the absence of noise, but the cradle of deepest harmony, where every heartbeat, every breath, sings a silent hymn of unity with the Almighty. It is here, in this divine encounter, that the invocation of grace and blessing begins. Not with loud words and selfish demands, but with a whisper of the soul, a pure desire that ascends like incense to the throne of grace. We present ourselves not as spiritual beggars, but as sons and daughters, co-heirs of the kingdom, seeking to align our hearts with the heart of the infinite, so that we may receive and overflow with the prosperity He desires to give us. In this act of alignment, we enter into a divine flow, a current that takes us beyond human limitations and fills us with the power to transmute our reality. The energy that sustains the stars and gives life to the universes becomes the same energy that flows through us, energizing our projects, dreams, and visions. This is the power given to us, not to hoard, but to create, to heal, to bless. With the connection firmly established, divine grace begins to operate in and through us in mysterious ways. Synchronicities become commonplace, chance encounters reveal answers to our silent pleas, and the resources we need to fulfill our purpose arrive in unexpected ways. Prosperity manifests not as a stroke of luck, but as a sign that we are in tune with the will of the divine. In this dance with the divine, we learn that we are not mere spectators of life, but active participants in the co-creation of our destiny. Instead of asking for random blessings, we begin to work in tandem with the supreme energy, understanding that true blessing is the ability to flow with this energy in all aspects of life, translating it into acts of love, service, and generosity. And as we continue this journey of connection and co-creation, we begin to realize that the prosperity we seek is not the end, but the means. The true treasure is not the abundance of possessions, but the abundance of being, living in a state of gratitude and wonder at the infinite possibilities revealed as we walk hand in hand with the divine. Thus, day by day, moment by moment, we choose to live in full awareness of this sacred connection. With each conscious breath, with each act of faith, we reinforce our alliance with the supreme energy, allowing grace and blessings for prosperity to manifest in our lives in ways that defy understanding but confirm the reality of a love that transcends all things. In the complex fabric of human existence, there is a golden thread that, when followed with faith and devotion, leads us to an immutable truth: we are loved and protected by a greater force that transcends our understanding. This force, which many call God, is the divine shepherd of our lives, and the quest for His guidance is a journey that takes us through valleys and mountains, shadows and light. Psalm 23, an ancient hymn of faith, resonates with the promise that even in the darkest moments, we are not alone. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. This line is not just a comfort, but a profound declaration of a reality where God is the source of all prosperity and care. In this surrender to divine love and protection, we are called to walk through green pastures and restful waters, guided by the hand that created the stars and woven our souls with eternal purposes. Divine guidance is not a path of ease, but a path of peace that penetrates the heart, even as we walk through the valley of the shadow of death. We fear no evil, for the divine rod and staff comfort us, correcting and supporting us, reminding us that we are more than our fears and that our essence is immortal. Surrendering to God's protection is a daily practice, a commitment founded in the trust that He is always by our side. Psalm 91 speaks of a refuge and fortress, of a trust that shields us like eagle's wings covering its young. We are invited to live in the shadow of the Almighty, affirming our security and protection. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge, is an echo that spans the centuries, a truth that promises that no harm will befall us and no plague will come near our tents. These affirmations of protection and security become powerful mantras in times of uncertainty. They are the spiritual armor that defends us against the invisible darts of fear and doubt. Repeated with faith, these words are not mere sounds in the air, but keys that unlock the doors of divine strength, where we find an unshakable sanctuary of peace. In the presence of God, we are strengthened, renewed, and revitalized to face life's storms. Confidence in God is the rock on which we build our existence. When the waves of adversity try to sweep us into the sea of despair, it is this confidence that keeps us anchored. With the certainty that God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble, we can face each challenge with courage and serenity. For we have been promised that He will deliver us, honor us, and show us salvation. In surrendering to divine love, we find an inexhaustible source of strength and solace. Each day is an opportunity to live in the awareness of this loving presence, to enjoy communion with the source of all love. This surrender is not a loss of autonomy, but an alignment with the power that enables us to be the best we can be, to love with a broader heart and to serve with more willing hands. God's love and protection are the fundamental truths that illuminate the path of human life. When we surrender to this truth, the barriers of the ego crumble, and we are enveloped in a deeper understanding of our existence. Prosperity becomes an internal and external reality, as we recognize that all we have and all we are comes from God's infinite kindness. Therefore, our surrender to divine love and protection is an ongoing journey, a dance of faith and grace. In the stillness of the soul, where the noise of the world dissolves, a sincere search for guidance and deeper understanding emerges. In this sacred space, many recognize God as the boundless source of true prosperity, echoing the ancient Psalm 23, an ode to trust in divine provision. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, becomes a mantra of hope and an affirmation of God's constant presence that guides, nurtures, and sustains, even when the path crosses the darkest valleys of human experience. In an act of surrender, the soul opens itself to receive guidance from this higher force, trusting that, just as a shepherd knows each sheep by name, God knows every heart and every need. This surrender is accompanied by a deep acceptance that each step taken is part of a larger plan, a fabric delicately interwoven with threads of divine love and purpose. As confidence grows, anxiety and fear dissipate, replaced by a serenity that flows from the certainty of being safe in the hands of the Creator. The affirmations of unblocking become valuable tools in this journey of opening. Repeating power words such as, I am open to the abundance of the universe, or I release all internal and external barriers that prevent me from prospering, can begin to reprogram the mind to receive. These affirmations work as keys that unlock invisible padlocks, allowing stagnant energy to flow and new opportunities for growth and success to unfold. They are the echo for willingness to align with the vibration of prosperity. As these affirmations intertwine with our breath and heartbeat, we begin to feel an internal shift. The once seemingly impenetrable blocks start to reveal themselves as illusions, mere shadows of the past that dissipate in the light of awakened consciousness. We realize that abundance is not something out of reach, but something that already exists within us, waiting to be recognized and released. This revelation is a crucial step in the unblocking process, a game-changer that reorients our perspective from one of scarcity to one of infinite possibilities. As we continue to practice surrender and affirmation, we start to notice the synchronicities and signs that surround us. These are the universe's winks, confirmations that we are on the right path and that our willingness to receive is being acknowledged. Every small coincidence or fortuitous encounter becomes a precious gem in the tapestry of our life, a reminder that abundance comes in many forms and often from where we least expect. With each block we release, our capacity to love, give, and receive expands. Abundance is not just material, but also emotional, spiritual, and relational. It manifests in shared smiles, unexpected assistance, opportunities for growth, and moments of pure joy. Unblocking allows us to experience the richness of life in its entirety, appreciating every aspect of our journey with gratitude and wonder. Finally, the unblocking process to receive abundance is an ongoing act of faith and inner work. It is not a single epiphany, but a series of small choices and changes that lead us to the heart of a fulfilled life. Abundance, thus understood, becomes more than simple material prosperity. It transforms into a state of being, a reality where there is a deep recognition of the fullness that permeates every aspect of our experience. Along this path, we learn that the greatest block was the illusion of separation, and the key has always been our own inner light, guided and amplified by the divine light that connects us to all that is. Words we speak, thoughts we cultivate, and actions we perform are the visible manifestations of this divine power. Each word can be a blessing or a curse, each thought can build or destroy, each action can promote harmony or discord. By choosing words of kindness, thoughts of compassion, and actions of service, we are expressing the divine power that resides within us. We are, indeed, affirming our true nature and allowing the light that we are to shine through the dense layers of illusion that often envelop us. Affirmations are a powerful way to align with this inner truth. By declaring, "I am love," we are not only reminding ourselves of our essential nature, but also invoking the quality of love into our lives. When we affirm, "I am light," we are dispelling the darkness of ignorance and fear that can sometimes cloud our perception. And by affirming, "I am the presence of God in action," we are acknowledging that we are not mere spectators of divine creation, but active participants, expressing divine will and intelligence in all that we do. This recognition is not a gesture of arrogance, but an act of humility. It is the acknowledgement that, while individually we may seem small and insignificant, there is a greatness within us that is immeasurable and eternal. By identifying with the divine power, we are disidentifying with the small self, the ego concerned with status, judgment, and personal gain. We are expanding our awareness to include the greater self, the self that is connected with all beings and with the source of all creation. This process of recognition is often accompanied by a profound sense of peace and purpose. There is a relief that comes from releasing the narrow identifications that cause us suffering and embracing a broader identity that lifts us above the highs and lows of everyday existence. We discover that our true strength does not come from our personal achievements, but from our unshakable connection with the divine. We do not need to struggle to prove our worth. Our existence itself is proof of divine magnificence. Furthermore, as we see ourselves as expressions of the divine, we begin to see others in the same way. This changes the way we interact with the world around us. The differences that once seemed so important begin to fade in light of the understanding of the fundamental unity of all life. We treat others with greater compassion and understanding, recognizing that, at their essence, they are the same as us: love, light, and the presence of God in action. This shift in perception is contagious. When we live from this place of recognition, we influence others to recognize their own divinity. Our interactions become less about transactions and more about transformations. Less about what we can get and more about what we can awaken in each other. It is a silent invitation for everyone to recognize and live in accordance with their divine power and identity. The recognition of divine identity and power is not the end of the journey, but a new beginning, a portal to a more authentic and fulfilling life. As we continue to explore the depths of our own divinity, we find an inexhaustible source of inspiration and joy. The challenges of life do not disappear, but the way we face them is transformed. Armed with the certainty of our inner power, we are able to face the storms with a calm that comes from knowing that we are more than capable of navigating through them. Each difficulty is an opportunity to exercise our divinity, to bring more love and light to the situation, and to strengthen our understanding of who we really are. Thus, the recognition of our divine identity and power is not just a personal journey, it is a service to the world. As we rise, we also lift those around us. By affirming and embodying love, light, and the presence of God in our actions, we become beacons of hope and transformation. In essence, by recognizing ourselves as divine, we are contributing to the creation of a world where the divinity of each being is recognized and celebrated, where the power of love and light is the driving force behind every thought, word, and action. In the innermost depths of every human being, there is a subtle yet powerful connection to the divine. This connection is the source of unconditional and unlimited love that transcends ordinary understanding. When we recognize this connection, we open ourselves to a deeper expression of divine love in our lives. This recognition is not just a mental act, but a heart awakening, an emotional resonance that aligns our being with the frequency of universal love. In doing so, we become clear channels of this love, allowing it to flow through us and extend to others, enriching our experiences and interactions. Strengthening this divine connection can be a journey of faith, a faith that is not based on dogmas or doctrines, but on the direct and personal experience of the sacred. With each act of recognition, our faith deepens, as each experience of love and each moment of conscious presence reaffirm the reality of this connection. Faith becomes less about believing without seeing, and more about recognizing the presence direct and personal experience of the sacred. It is a living relationship with the greater mystery, a trust that grows and strengthens as we continue to engage with our spiritual selves. Gratitude is another quality that naturally flourishes as we reinforce our connection to the divine. Each affirmation of our connection to the source of all being is an act of gratitude. This gratitude is not a response to a specific gift or blessing received, it is a continuous appreciation for the constant presence of divine love in our lives. Gratitude opens us to receive even more, for by appreciating what we have, we align ourselves with the abundance of the universe. It teaches us to see life through a lens of fullness, rather than scarcity, and to celebrate each breath as a gift. With each affirmation, we are, in truth, cultivating a more fertile ground for our faith and gratitude to grow. We declare our connection with the divine and, at the same time, invite this presence to become more evident in our lives. It is not an empty repetition of words, but an active call for a deeper experience of the sacred. We are consciously choosing to reinforce our bonds with the divine, and each choice brings with it an opportunity to strengthen our conviction and our love. This process of strengthening the connection with the divine also asks us to look within and clear any obstacles that may be obscuring our perception of divine love. This may mean releasing old grievances, forgiving ourselves and others, or simply letting go of limiting beliefs that keep us small. By clearing these blockages, we make more space in our hearts and minds for divine light to enter and transform us. As our connection with the divine strengthens, we begin to see the world from a different perspective. What once seemed like a series of disconnected events now reveals itself as an intricate tapestry, woven with the threads of divine purpose. We begin to perceive synchronicities and feel a subtle guidance that leads us down paths we may never have considered before. Life becomes less about effort and more about flow, less about control and more about trust. Along the way, our connection with the divine becomes more than just a comfort, it becomes our compass. It guides us through challenges and reminds us that we are not alone on our journey. Even in moments of doubt or darkness, the faith and gratitude we cultivate serve as beacons, reminding us of the constant presence of divine love. They sustain and inspire us to continue moving forward. Finally, with a heart filled with gratitude, I bid you farewell, knowing that our conversation does not end here, but continues to blossom with each passing day. May your journey be illuminated with countless moments of beauty, and may your life always be a hymn of gratitude. Subscribe, participate, and walk with us. Your company is a precious gift in building a world full of love and understanding. Peace and prosperity to all of you, today and always.